Ground and pound.
Groundandpound-TV, Marc Bergmann, vor Ort zur Fight Week in Berlin und neben mir steht nun der Europachef der UFC, David Allen, und wir haben einige Fragen auf dem Herzen, die wir ihm jetzt stellen werden. David, obviously the big event only a few days away over here, second time in Berlin. How do you feel right now coming here for a second time and witnessing all this here in Berlin?
Well, we've just had the face-offs here a second ago, and you can feel the tension rising already. It's going to be an absolutely amazing night. Can't wait for it. I mean, we've got the World Championship being held in Germany for the first time ever. It's really an honour and a privilege for us who run this region to have that fight on, and I think it's a privilege and an honour for all the German fans who will attend on the night. But we've also got a great main card with 3 German fighters on the card, so it's going to be an awesome night. I can't wait to hear the noise in the auditorium.
You just mentioned it. It's the first time ever a UFC world title is being defended in Germany, and even on Fight Pass also a first time. Who made the call when Alex Gustafsson got injured to replace him with, or replace the light heavyweight main event with two girls fighting for the title?
Well, it's never one person that makes the call. It's a group, and everybody sits down together and works out what's best, number one, for the fighters. And then the matchmakers and Sean Shelby, who looks after the women's strawweight division, came up with the idea that, hey, what about we could do this? So, as I say, it is an honour and a privilege to have the first women's title fight being held in Europe and the first title fight in its entirety held here in Germany. It's a fantastic night.
I'm asking because, I mean, I'm sure there would have been other fights that you could have done here to replace Glover and Gustafsson, but you choose the big one. You choose the title fight. Why?
Well, I think it's a sign of where we're going as a sport. We've now got 2 women's divisions in the bantamweight and the strawweight. Jessica, from being across the border, Joanna across the border in Poland. She was with us in Poland at our Krakow event, and there was a sense of, would we like to have that fight in Europe? And then Jessica stepped up when the call was made and said, yeah, I'll come across. I'll take the chance to fight for the title. So it's going to be a great matchup. And as you said, it's on fightpass.com right around the world. The eyes of the combat world will be sitting and watching all that's happening here in Berlin on Saturday night.
Well, we were certainly hoping to see the event on German television, of course. As you know, the German public is just waiting for it to happen. And, a couple of months ago you told us the ink under the contract is already drying. Now, we talked a couple of minutes ago, you said, nah, it's not really dry yet. How far are we in getting the UFC on German television?
We're not far away. I've got to level with you on this one because we've been talking this for a long time. And it's been a challenge for us to get ourselves onto TV here in Germany. It's been a personal goal of mine and of the team and of the whole organisation. And, I've got to really apologise to all the German fans that we cannot just get this one done. And the reason is we were moving at a rate of knots. We were trying to get it done really fast. And sometimes when you rush things, it doesn't happen in the right way. So ourselves and our partner, we actually made a decision not to put this one on. Let's go and put it on Fight Pass, make everybody who sees the fights every weekend go and enjoy the fights on Fight Pass. And in the next 10 days, we will make an announcement that will actually stretch our deal for over 3 years. So it's going to be fantastic for our German fans. It's not just about that night, it's about a longer term thing. So it is disappointing, but I think, people will come to the arena and see the fights. People will be able to access the fights on Fight Pass, as I say. So it's going to be great.
Well, actually, we were able to see the event on a German video on demand service for like 1 day or a couple of hours, and then it got taken off the site again. Was there someone too quick, or what happened there?
I'm not so sure. I didn't get to see it. I have heard about it from different people, but I never got to see it. But it's on Fight Pass. It won't be coming off Fight Pass. It's up there. That's what we're going to do. So everybody tune in.
Well, Fight Pass has become, at least in my opinion, a very nice tool for the UFC and all the fans in Germany, because you get to see a lot of fights from around the world. You have the archive, what you can use, and a lot of other stuff. Now, if you get on German television, like you did in Poland, for example, will the German fans still have the opportunity to watch the fights on Fight Pass live, or will some of the Fight Pass events be cut? Because that's what happened in Poland, if I got that right.
Yeah, Fight Pass sometimes becomes a different platform for what we want to be in market. We've had the benefit for the last number of years where we weren't on broadcast on TV of making sure that all our great fans were able to access what they could. And we will continue to do that. And, you know, Fight Pass, as you said, it's not just about live events. Fight Pass has over 65,000 hours of content in there, all the way back to UFC 1. We've got great other promotions on there, whether it's Invicta or you can go and watch Pride and Strikeforce. And we announced Titan the other day. So we're adding to it all the time. There's great other content in there, whether we're making UFC embedded or all the different stories. There's biographies of all the fighters. You know, so when you think of it in that way, for the price of a beer, it's a fantastic offering. And, you know, fans who are real fans will absolutely continue to watch on Fight Pass.
Well, in Germany, the beer is a lot cheaper than in England, but
maybe
maybe 2 beers. But I understand where you're going to. You know, but can you understand where all those fans in Poland, for example, are coming from when they criticize the new concept of, like, I mean, most of the guys are paying for the live fights, you know, and you know. Can you understand that they criticize this process of taking the live events off of Fight Pass? Because on the other hand, they have it on television then.
Yeah, no, we won't be taking everything off Fight Pass, that's for sure. And we will be making sure that the offering is of great value to everybody. So yes, maybe beer is cheaper here in Berlin than it is in London, or maybe not in the hotel. You know, hotel prices are a little bit different. But we definitely will have an offering of fights for everybody who's still on Fight Pass. All our EMEA events, absolutely, we want to make sure that at least the prelims are on Fight Pass. But you know, it's the same in the movie industry. You can go to the cinema to watch a movie, you can download it on Apple, you can go and buy it on a DVD, or you can watch it on the TV. So I think the world is changing, and that's something that we've got to adapt. The great thing about Fight Pass is it's anytime, anywhere. So you as a fan get the opportunity to watch the fights when you want to watch the fights. It's not about us saying you must tune in at 8 o'clock or you must tune in at 6 o'clock or whatever the timing is. Fight Pass gives you that great offering that you can watch anytime, any place. And when we say anywhere, it means you can be on holidays down in Canaries in Spain, or you're going to Portugal in your holidays. You can still follow your favorite fighters and your favorite fights. So Fight Pass is a super offering in that way.
You say in the next 10 days you're going to announce what this TV deal will look like, who the partner is, and things like that. What was the problem in the last couple of days? Because there were rumors running around that we might see this event on television already, and I mean, you know about that. What was the problem?
Well, it's not one problem. It's a number of things of just trying to get everything to line up at the right time. It's not as easy as just plugging in and then it switches on in your TV. There's a lot of technical things that have to happen in the background. You have to go out and tell consumers and fans that it's there, number one, and promote it. We've got to get our commentary working. There are so many different elements, and some were ahead of others, some were behind others. And it was just one of those things that we said, to do this right and to do it for our fans in the most articulate and correct way, we just needed a little bit more time. Everything's done. We have a handshake. We're done. The ink is dry. We're ready to go. They are more about technical issues than anything else, and that's what delayed us a little bit. And I do apologise, because I would have loved nothing better than us to be able to stand here today and say we were on national TV. But we're not. That's what happens in the world. Things don't always go according to plan, but you have plan B, and plan B is fightpass.com for everybody.
Can you understand the criticism that the fight card received by the fans over here in Germany? Because when we announced the original fight, Gustafsson vs. Teixeira, people were like, wow, the best card we had in a long time, and the feedback was completely positive. And then this fight broke away, and basically just one fight switched, and the feedback was completely negative. But the rest of the card didn't change at that time. Now a lot of fights changed, okay, that's given, but can you understand that people are so quick in criticizing a product and criticizing fight cards? And we had the same thing last year.
Yeah, it's one of those things within any sport. You know, people can criticize, and you know, fans, they can voice their opinion, and we listen to their opinion at all times. But I sometimes think if you talk to the fighters and ask them, they'll say it's a great card. They are delighted with the matchups that we've got here. We've got a world title fight on this card in Berlin. It's only our second time to be in Berlin, and we're bringing in a world title fight. You know, if you say that, you know, is Nick Hein, as an example, is his fight a bad fight on the card? I think that's actually very disrespectful to the athletes who are doing everything that they do, whether it's their training, their preparation, the years of work that they've got to get to this stage. And we've got some debutants. We've got 4 debutants on the card. We have to fill up the bucket. You got to put people in and start seeing where's the new talent coming from and giving people new opportunities. And I think that's the great thing that we can offer on a card like this as well. 4 debutants on the card making their way in. We've got 12 different nationalities from all around the world going to be fighting on this card. Where's the next superstar going to come from? It could be here on Saturday night.
Well, let's hope it's someone from Germany. And this is the last question before I let you go, David. When we talked a couple of months ago, you said we will have a lot of EMA events in Europe this year. And we already had. We had a big show in Sweden. We have Germany right here. We have Glasgow coming up. Likely another show in Dublin. Can you announce anything else? What's coming up? What people can hope for in the rest of 2015?
Well, in 2015, this has been a year where we've solidified what we tried to do last year. So we put on 5 events last year, and as you've indicated to the events that we've done already, and we will get to 5 events this year. The difficulty with it is just finding the matchup between the arenas and the dates, our athletes, the television broadcast, everything has to line up, and it's never as easy. You know, it's a crazy jigsaw puzzle that we try to put together all the time. We're working very hard on 2016 already in terms of firming up new dates and new times. What I will say is what we're trying to do is revisit some of our old and favourite markets, and we want to visit new markets. Everywhere I go, people ask me, when are you coming to Russia? When are you coming to France? When are you coming to Spain, Italy, Norway, Sweden? You get all these questions. There are only 365 days in the year, and last year we put on, I think it was 46 different events around the world. Only 52 weekends in the calendar, so it makes it a little bit difficult to firm up at this point in time. But what I say is, we put on a great show here in Berlin last year. We're going to put on a great show again on Saturday night, and that makes us want to come back. And I think that's the first thing that the fans have to ask us. Put it out there and make us want to come back.
David, thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you for all your support.